Now, let's look at the second one. The second one says that if an object is projected vertically upward from altitude of s0 feet with the initial velocity of v sub 0 feet per second, then its distance above the ground after t seconds is given by the function below, by this one. Okay, so this basically says what? An object is probably right here, okay, and then it is thrown up and then goes down, like that. Let's say this is the ground, okay, this is the ground. So what's the meaning for s sub 0 feet? You see, this would be s sub 0, okay, because you know when you plug in 0 here, that means at the beginning we didn't do anything, so t is 0. If s of 0, you plug in 0 here, 0 squared is 0 times negative 16, you still get 0. And here you still 0 times v0, you still have a 0. And then when the object is not moved, s of 0 is just this 0. That's the initial place, s sub 0. Okay. And then, you know, when you throw the object upward, and then it then goes down. And here is the equation. It's given, this equation. Actually, in physics, we can find out, okay, why it's like that. But here in math, it's given. Now, we are given two conditions. One is this. S of 2 is 156. Another is S of 5 is 75. What's the meaning for that? You see, S of 2 is actually, we got is 156. That's 2 seconds later, 156. How come 5 seconds later is 75? You know, 2 seconds later, 156 is going up. 5 seconds later, probably it goes down to somewhere here. Okay, that's why, you know, 2 seconds later, 156 is greater than 5 seconds, 75. Because the object goes down, going up first, and then goes down. Okay, so we want to find out these two values. The initial speed. So when you throw this object up, what's the initial speed? You use more power, so the initial speed might be higher. Object might be higher. You throw the object not in a very powerful way, then the object might be lower. The initial speed might be smaller. Okay? So anyway, we want to find out this initial speed and also this initial place, how high it was. This object was thrown up. Okay. Now we are given again S of 2 is 156. So S of 2 is 156. How to use this condition? 2 seconds later is 156. And then you got to plug in this 2 into this formula. T is 2. So here T is 2, that would be negative 16 times 2 squared plus V0 times 2, T is 2, and then plus S sub 0. So that's the first condition from here. S of 2 equals 156. This one we do the same thing. S of 5 is 75. So 75 equals S of 5. What's the meaning for S of 5? Again, plug in 5 here. Replace T with 5. Okay. So then here will be negative 16 was there times 5 squared, because T is replaced by 5. And then plus V0 times 5 plus S sub 0. Okay. Now we got is 156 equals that. Okay, so we leave 156 here. And here is negative 16 times 4, because 2 squared is 4, so we have negative 64 plus V0 times 2 is 2 times V0 plus S sub 0. So this was the first equation we got from here. Similarly, the second equation is that 75 equals this big quantity. 75, if you leave it here, and then 5 squared is 25. Remember, this squared only acts on 5, not this negative sign. This negative sign is for 16 only. Okay, so negative 16 times 25 is negative 400. And then plus V0 times 5 is 5 times V0, and then plus S sub 0. So then we have the second equation. We want to further simplify these two equations. Okay, look, here is negative 64. So you plus positive 64 will cancel that. Okay, and then if you cancel that, the right hand side is just this one, 20 plus S0. That's right hand side. The left hand side is 156 plus 64. That's 220 right here. So this is from the first equation. Here we got that first equation. The second equation, you plus 400 on both sides. You cancel this positive negative. So the right hand side, 5V0 plus S0 is here. That's on the right. And the left hand side is 75 plus 400. That's 475. So you get the second equation from here. Now, how to solve this one? Here we have a positive S sub 0 and we have a positive S sub 0. So if we make the first equation be all negative, then you see you put a negative here, negative here, negative here. They are still equal because you multiply the negative 1 to two sides. Now basically, if you see here is negative, here is negative, here is negative, then you do is looks like equation 2 minus equation 1. So equation 2 minus equation 1, you can cancel this S sub 0. One is negative, another is positive. And here is also negative, 2V0. Here we have 5V0, so 5 minus 2 is 3. So 3V0. So left hand side, when you use the bottom one to subtract the top one, you have a 3V0. Those two cancel each other. 5 minus 2 is 3. The right hand side, 2 minus 1, equation 2 minus equation 1, that's 475 minus 220. That's 255. So equation 2 minus equation 1, we got new equation. And this new equation does not contain s sub 0. It only has v0. So divided by 3 on both sides, then you cancel with 3. Now v0 equals 255 divided by 3 is 85. So here we find v sub 0 is 85. So then the initial speed, the object was thrown upward. The speed was like 85 feet per second. So we have found this one. Okay, what are the initial speed? That's 85 feet per second. After we find one variable, another one would be easier. You can plug in this 85 either here or here. You should have the same answer. So let's plug in 85 here. 85 use 85 to replace v0. That would be 2 times 85 plus s sub 0 equals 220. Okay. We know that 2 times 85 is 170. Okay. And then, so basically 170 plus s sub 0 equals 220. And then minus 120 on both sides, you may cancel that. So you have s sub 0 is 50. So then we have because that's 220 minus 170. If you minus 170 on both sides, they cancel each other here, and the left hand side has s sub 0. So 220 minus 120 is 50. 50 what? 50 feet. That means here initially this object was 50 feet above the ground, and with the speed, throwing speed, 85 feet per second, going up and then going down. Okay, so these two story problems probably you want to review a little bit and start to do the similar questions in your assignment. Okay, I'll see you next time.